All right, we're just gonna break this down. Break it down. So this is a good exercise in hand positions. And just chords in general, like making your left hand and your right hand agree. Sometimes, not always, but so check it out. The very first thing is this. The first three chords, right? We're going to start there. My hand is not hardly moving at all. That's the main thing. When you were playing it, you were starting on like your third finger, and I don't know what you were doing, but you were making it hard on yourself. So the left hand position looks like this. If I play all the notes in the left hand that we're working on, this is an A major second inversion. So I have E, A, and C sharp. Now, when I'm practicing, I can play this chord and make sure, and then let it go, and I know that those are the notes I'm going to be playing. So there's no guesswork. In other words, I'm not playing this note and going, oh God, what's the next note? Oh God, what's the next one? Everybody's all lined up. And because we've been practicing our chords, your hands are getting used to these positions. You know, they snap automatically to these positions. So it's building off a technique that we know. So once you play that with your left hand and then play one note at a time, make sure that you can do it one note at a time. Then your right hand, you're going to start with the C sharp minor first inversion, and then just the middle note changes to A major second inversion, and then these fingers come down to E major root position. So now we do that together, just C sharp in the left hand, A in the left hand, then E in the left hand. Okay, that's the first thing that you need to practice and memorize it. Make sure you're doing clean transitions between them, not smashing, just very clean transitions, and then it's easy. Then you can do it. If you make a plan first, everything works out better. Now, the hard part. Then you got to move up here. But the first thing that happens, so I'll play it first. So again, my hands are hardly moving. My left hand's moving a little bit more, but if you have a plan before you start, then it'll be a lot better. So if we start with the left hand and do all the chords, actually, let's do that. You start with a G sharp minor chord, G sharp, B, and D sharp. And then all you got to do is move your thumb to E. That's not very far. You do that, your second finger is already on C sharp. So you got G sharp, C sharp, and E. So from here, G sharp minor to C sharp minor, second inversion, back and forth. Just practice doing that. Look at your hand. And then you pick up the whole hand, everybody moves down to B major, second inversion, it's F sharp, B, and D sharp, and then you pick up your whole hand to A major. That was the one note. That's the one we started with down there.
It's just one note over.
Yeah. So C sharp, A, and E.
Right.
So you have C sharp minor, B major, A major. Okay? And this A major, again, it's the exact same thing as this, only it's up here. So we're building off things. Now the right hand, to begin with, those notes, if you play them together, it's a G sharp minor chord.
I didn't get that. I didn't put that together.
So if you now practicing putting them together, you can start with playing G sharp minor with both hands, and then one note at a time with the right hand. On the last note, that's when you hit this chord.
Oh, I see.
So right there.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Right? And then when we go to the next one, this is going to be our C sharp minor. This is a little bit different. It's not exactly a C sharp minor, but there's an extra note in here.
E.
So now you're going to go, but it's still the same pattern. G sharp, B, and then together on the E.
Right.
So just practice doing that. And then from there,
Another E.
right? Okay. And notice also that the melody is still chord tones, which means they're notes that come out of the chord. So this G sharp minor, I'm playing a D sharp up here, which is, there's a D sharp in my chord. And then when I go to C sharp minor, that note is out of the chord, but it's good to, if you know the chord tones, you can also see, oh, that middle one is not in the chord. So it helps you identify it, even though it's other. But this top note is E, this is E,
Yeah, right.
and then you play E again, and when I go down to D sharp, if D sharp is there, and then C sharp. So it helps if I
just these. Okay,
Yeah.
they're both at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it helps also because if you're, like, say you're playing the melody and you go, and you're like, oh, am I supposed to play the next chord with this note or that note? You know, it helps you to remember that, well, I know I'm playing the E twice, but it's not going to be with a B because it's not in the chord.
Oh,
We don't
I
do
see.
that. We go, oh, it's in the chord. And this one, too, is in the chord.
Whatever is here too. Or
Yeah, in this case.
here. In this case, I get it.
Yeah, most of the time. I mean, this is why we learn theory is to try to make things agree with one another. When you're playing music, when you have things that are, I'm playing different chords in each hand, it sounds like that. But when I play the same chords, that's where we get harmony. If I do something, right, that's a big open sound, and it looks complicated. It looks like I played a bunch of
It
notes.
does.
But, and I mean, I
Same
played.
chord, though.
It's the same. I
just
only
the
played 3
octaves.
notes. I played A, C sharp, and E. But I played it here, 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 here.
It sounds
there,
great.
And down there. So it's a big, because the notes complement each other.
That's right.
But if I played like,
No. So you've taped.
Yeah.
Okay.